All right. Too many buttons to push, Wayne.
But they're good buttons.
Too many buttons. All right. And good morning and welcome to this June edition of the Coach's Corners with your hosts, Oliver Blue and Wayne Moody. And we are here as a result of a decision that we made many years ago to show up in the world as mentors and coaches and lovers of life. Good
Mm,
morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm alive and well. Like I said, I opened these two gifts this morning. My eyes.
Those are some precious gifts, aren't they?
Hey, some people didn't this morning,
Yes.
but you and I did.
Yes. And if
And
you're listening to us this morning or listening to the replay, that means that you have received your gifts this morning. And we just welcome all of our listeners. And we are here as the Coach's Corner, where we purpose in our heart to add value and build goodwill in the communities that we service. And Wayne Moody is a friend, a fellow coach, and an outstanding human being that I have joined forces with. He's my mastermind partner, and he's doing great work in the world. He's helping so many people. He's a traveler. He's an ambassador of transformation for the country of Belize.
yes, I love it.
He's a world traveler. And he's a missionary to the world.
Hmm. Oh
And
man,
he's I think the word he used is world changer. And he has certainly had a lot of influence and impact on my life and have changed the way I dream. He's made me a unlimited dreamer and so many others that he has come in contact with. And I'm so delighted to be in partnership with him.
I say namaste
Yes, yes,
because it's a progression. We're both rising. Grand rising, and as we become more aware, because the awareness is so key. Um, I remember Mary shares a story where um, someone had actually left her quite a few $1,000s, right? But she had no clue. And she was just living life. And they finally reached her and informed her that, man, we've been looking for you for like 2 years. We have this money that someone had died and they had left for you, but they just didn't know. And, yesterday we recently, they had a big celebration for Juneteenth, and not knowing that you are free is sad. Not knowing that you are free, but you're still living with the mindset that I'm enslaved. But
yeah.
we,
That's we say here on our platform form all the time that the biggest cost in life is not knowing. When we don't know,
mm,
we live way below
ah,
our state of being, and it's like the guy that's running around looking for his keys to his automobile, and for hours and hours he frustrated because he can't find his keys, and lo and behold his keys were right there in his pocket.
mm.
Never looked in his pocket.
It's amazing when you don't know what it is that you have,
Yes.
because then you're living less than you're supposed to be.
Oh, absolutely. I remember very vividly in the early part of my teenage and young adult years, when I did not know. I'm just being just 100 with you. I did not know who I was.
Hmm,
I knew I was given a name and a social security number,
hmm,
and I knew I had a record of
hmm.
being born. Uh, and I had a school record. I had a medical record, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, I was known in the sense that you know I was accounted for as a human being,
Hmm.
But personally, I didn't know who I was. That
Mm.
that that level of knowing my name and family and school and all of that. In all of that knowing, there was no peace, there
Mm.
was no purpose, um, there was no awareness that there was even something that was bigger than all of that recording, all of that,
Mm.
naming. And I didn't realize that my life was bigger than that.
Mm.
But I felt that something was not complete. Something I didn't feel whole. I didn't feel complete. I didn't feel at peace. And, you know, I've always been, I guess, in touch with my mental self, my psychological self, my emotional self. And so because I was sensitive, right? More so to the unseen than I was to the seen, I I could not be I was not comfortable in my own skin.
Mm.
And I knew that there was something missing. And I went on a journey early in my early teens and early 20s, all the way through college. And when I got out of college, it became even more discomforting. Even though on the surface, people would say, oh, he's doing well, he's succeeding, he's got a career, he's got a wife, he's got a home, he's got two homes, he got a kid. On the surface, it looked like, I was the happiest or luckiest person in the world. But inside, I was an
Mm.
empty vessel, man. I'm telling you, it was a bad feeling. So I know I've been on the side of not knowing,
Oh.
and it's not a great feeling. And now I'm on the side of knowing and becoming even more aware of my knowing each and every moment, each and every day. And I like
Hmm.
where I am now so much better. I am the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. It has
Ah.
nothing to do with what I possess. It has nothing to do with my friends or my wife or my kids, or it has nothing to do with anything in form. It only has to do with the knowing of myself. That is the most important event that ever happened in my life when I
Mm.
discovered who I am.
And you say I am, right? And
I am. I am that. I
the
am.
I am is so powerful, and
Yes.
it's been resonating with me more than ever because I was telling a client just this morning, what you feel is real, but
Yes.
it's not who you are. So I have been so intentional in acknowledging the feelings that I feel, because unless I acknowledge the feelings that I feel, I'm going to be like disillusional. But I don't say I am tired, because that's not who I am. I feel tired,
Right.
but
Right.
I am strong.
Right.
I feel pissed off, but I'm courageous. So
Right.
my I ams are so important. And I was sharing a thought this morning about the words that we speak, because when we speak, that's a part of creation.
That's a part of the
Part of
creation
creation.
process.
We
That's
speak,
right.
we speak, and you know the fundamental principle that we've been gleaning on is the reality that everything begins with a thought. And as I think the thought, part of the brain is actually activated. And then when I speak, there's another part that is activated. And then as I write, there's another part of the brain that is activated. And it all leads to manifestation of what it is, because I think, and then ultimately then I see the becoming of what it is that I think. Because as we think, and Wallace Waddle says, we are thinking beings.
Yes.
We don't get not to think. I mean, even if we might say, well, I'm just floating and I'm not concentrating, there's still thoughts that are being bombarded in our minds as we're alive. There's so much thoughts that
Right.
that goes through our minds even unconsciously.
Right.
And those thoughts with energy placed in them will give the results that we actually will see in our life. So here we are this morning, and we thought of meeting this morning, and I say it's like two planets colliding, and new things are created from that very dynamic, because the galaxies that are out there, the formation of what happens when things come together is amazing. So this moment has never been, and this moment is never going to be again, And we are actually creating this moment because we are co-creating it with the creator. Because as we take a deep breath, there's that infinite source that is breathing you and me and everybody that's on the face of the earth today. But some of us are aware and some of us are intentional in what we're actually experiencing. While, a lot of people, they're living life just by default and they're saying it is what it is. But that's not how I live my life. I don't live my life saying it is what it is. I live my life saying it is what I perceive it to be and what I desire it to be. Because as a world changer, and I celebrate that because that is how I see myself. That is the perception that I have of myself. And 18 years ago, when I decided, man, I'm going to submit my life to God and have God do the work in my life, started His work in my life and transforming my life. And I've evolved from when I first became aware to where I'm at today, because my belief systems have expanded. The view of myself has actually continued to just grow. And I started reading a book, which I was recommended by some friend, Psycho-Cybernetics. And again,
Maxwell Maltz.
Maxwell Maltz. And it's an amazing, because yesterday I was reading and he was just sharing the concept of the fact that we cannot outperform our
Our
self-image,
self-image.
but we can change our self-image. And I was telling a client this morning, I remember as a kid, my mom would dress me, and every time she would send me to my aunt to ask her, how am I looking? And every time I went, I can hear her voice right now in my head. She would say, you're looking damn fine. So I don't need anybody else to tell me, because as a kid, that was what I was programmed to believe.
Right.
And again, I was talking to a friend yesterday who has gone through some changes with his weight. I mean, working out, and now he's done some surgeries and stuff. And I was asking him, I said, so how have you worked with the mindset? Because there are individuals who they work on the body and they get the body, but they don't think themselves to being beautiful.
Right.
And again, if the mindset is not in alignment with what you experience, then it's like, if I don't think I deserve a great life, I won't experience a great life.
Right.
If I don't think I deserve to be happy, I will just settle for whatever
Right.
it is. So,
Right.
my brother, I appreciate you. I love the pictures that I saw this morning with you and the beautiful wife. You're talk about,
I was being creative.
talk about being radiant, and as I watch the different pictures, I could just see life flowing, flowing,
Yes.
flowing, and that is what it's all about, because we are connected to the source of life.
Yes.
So life should be flowing from us. And
Yes.
one of the things that sometimes we know might block the flow is when we're talking about forgiveness or being unforgiving, because love is unlimited.
Yes.
That means forgiveness should be flowing.
Yes.
But one of the first places that I need to start is with me. I
Yes.
need to release myself and say, you are forgiven.
Yes.
Don't block this conduit. I want to be experiencing all of the infinite flowing through me, being aware, one, that I'm one with, but then also realize that I'm a conduit through which all of love can flow through.
Yes. Yes. Oh, you said so much there, Wayne. My goodness. I'm just soaking it all in. Wow. Well, I tell you what, um, we created these spaces, these platforms. You have several, I have several, out of a desire to help others to get unstuck from not knowing. Again, the biggest debt or the cost to life is not knowing.
Mm,
And just like you gave the example of the person that had the grand inheritance and didn't know it, they had no awareness of it, right? They had no awareness of it. Like you said earlier, you cannot outperform your awareness. You cannot outperform the image that you hold of yourself. And so, to me, the greatest thing that we can do is expand our awareness and our knowing. That's why we created these platforms. That's why we decided to become um, coaches, mentors. That's why we have, built what we have built, for the whole purpose of sharing this grand awareness and enlightenment that is for everyone, and um, and it's never ending, whether we understand it or not. You have entered into eternity already.
Mm,
Eternal life is not something in the future.
mm,
It is a part of your now experience.
mm,
Eternity is always in the present, is always in the now. And so that's one of the biggest expansions of awareness that we can have, is that I'm living eternally now.
mm,
In that way, when we accept that every moment is a now eternal moment, that is one way to heal ourselves from anxiety, because
mm.
anxiety is no more than an anticipation of a future that may be, we may think that be, it may be a future that has lack, or it may have discomfort, or it may have broken relationships. So when we in the present moment become overwhelmed with thoughts about a future that doesn't exist, that's what anxiety is.
And then the flip side of it is actually bringing along stuff from the past that you should have
Yes.
let go.
Yes.
So
That's
somebody said, somebody
yes.
said the moment is a gift. It's the present.
It's the present.
Present. So,
Yes.
but to live there, oh man, that's the thing. It's the thing that we discipline ourselves to be in the moment, because I remember being at work when I had a job, and I was ready for, let's say, my vacation, and I would be working on that day, but boy, I was already on the plane heading to my vacation. I wasn't there at the job.
Right.
Or I might be at the job, but I'm thinking about something that happened in the past that I have not resolved, that I've not let go of. And the greatest place that we can be is being present
Yes.
in the moment. And it takes discipline. It takes
Absolutely.
practice. It
Ab-
takes coaching.
Absolutely. That is the work. That is the good work that we've been called to do, and that is the work of staying present, because
Mm,
it is a work. You have to be intentional. You have to be mindful. You have to be vigilant about it, because the mind, if left to itself,
whew,
it will take you into a future of lack.
mm,
It will remind you of a past of that you may hold yourself and others uh, in a grievance. And anytime we again move out of the present into the past will always move you into a depressed state. You know, trying to live into the future
mm.
will bring on the anxiety, and being beholden to the past is what brings on depression. Therefore you see the state of a lot of humanity that is, they say they're in a state of depression or they're in a state of anxiety,
Mm.
because there is not an awareness and a knowing that they are right now in this present moment in a state of eternity.
And everything I need for this
And
moment
everything you need for this moment is here.
has been provided.
And the
Everything I need.
greatest thing we need for this moment is the mindset and the
Yes.
awareness
And
that we are present.
and I think even as I consider the deprogramming that is needed, right? Because we've been so programmed. There's all these mindsets that we've actually had that are not necessarily expansive, and they come up as we start seeing our minds being renewed. And I love the word repent, because repent is changing the way you think. Change the way you think. You've thought this way, but I need to think this way instead.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Right.
Changing my mindset, and every thought, every imagination that is contrary to what the divine says, those thoughts has to go.
Right.
Those thoughts has to be renewed. And then I need to download in the mind the thoughts that are expansive. So I am enough. That's what I know. And that's what I need to believe. And that's what I need to say. I'm not asking if I feel enough, because the situation and circumstance, like you said, will cause you to go to a place of being very constricted.
Right.
but I am amazing. That is
Yep.
who I am.
Yeah. And see the way the human structure is designed, we're going to get emotionally involved with something. And so the training is to get emotionally involved with constructive thinking versus destructive thinking. Because you're going to be emotionally involved with something. Just think about it all the time. Sometime in your day, every day, you're choosing where to take that energy of that is within us. Because emotions are no more than energy that's in motion. Where we're choosing to direct that energy, whether it be in a constructive way, and it begins with our thoughts, which will eventually affect how we feel, and which will eventually direct our actions. But it starts with the thought, right?
Where will I put my energy? Will I put my energy on lack, or will I put my energy on abundance?
Abundance, yes.
If I put my energy on lack, I'm going to be constrictive. I'm going to be anxiety. But if I put my energy on abundance, and how do I practically do that?
Yeah.
And this is a tool that we know. Go to a place of gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm grateful for being alive today. I'm grateful for being with you. And the whole energy shift, that's where all the emotions are going into the fact that I'm grateful for the life that I have. I'm grateful for the opportunities that are coming. And because I shift the energy by just what I'm thinking, then I won't go to that place of feeling constricted and feeling like I don't have, because the reality is all that I need.
Yes.
All that I need has been provided.
Has been provided.
Abundant. It's an abundant day. And I might not feel it, but because where I put my energy, and gratitude is where everything is going to flow from.
Absolutely.
Gratitude. And I'm so grateful for you, my brother.
Yes.
I'm grateful for the fact that we have this connection. I'm grateful for the fact that somewhere in the eons of eternity, the thought was conceived that, hey, this guy from Belize and this guy from whatever projects in Carolina were actually coming together.
From Duncan Smith Apartments projects of North Carolina.
And I tell the story of my life because where I grew up in Belize was considered like the ghetto. It's like, and coming from a place of like nothing.
Yeah. I was raised in government housing.
I can testify where not just I am today, but where my family is.
Yes.
And I boast about it not because it has been of us, but it's because the divine has actually done it. I was talking to one of my nieces yesterday, civil engineer, doing some amazing work in Florida. And man, from, like I said, from where we came to where she is.
Yes.
And I look at my nephews who are doing amazing things. And, you know, if you focus on the news, you know what the news gives? The news is going to give you everything that is wrong.
Yeah, negative.
And I want to say, I celebrate the young people today because I remember going to a conference years ago when I was in Belize, and the speaker said, the young people are like airplanes. Every day there are so many flights, but only the ones that are casualties make the headlines. There are many young people doing amazing things today, but they're not being celebrated. They're not being acknowledged. And if you listen to the news, you would get depressed, frustrated, and feel like, oh my God, we are just going in a basket, going nowhere. when things are happening. Great things are happening. So
great things are happening.
What we focus on is going to be magnified. And if we focus on the problem is going to be magnified. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be the ostrich, put our head in the ground and say, okay, it's not happening, because there's so much happening. I need to be in touch with what is happening. Yes, but I don't need to put my energy into that.
Right. You're right. You're aware of it, but you're not of it.
Nope. Right. And again, that's what it is. Aware of it, but I'm not it. I mean, if Jesus, you say who I am a son of the Most High God. I have divine DNA flowing through my being.
Yeah. Even the master teacher said, hey, look, guys, I'm in this world with you guys, but I'm not of this. This is not my home.
I am an alien.
I have come here as the awakener. I've come to waken you guys up. So if you're just joining in or have joined in and say, who are these two strange creatures here? talking all this, woo woo stuff. Well, I'm Oliver. This is my friend and mastermind partner, Wayne Moody, and we come into these spaces once a month called the Coaches Corner. And as mindset and vision and life and dream builder coaches, Wayne and I, we give you our very best. We're here to share in these communities to add value to your life and to build goodwill among humanity. And so, thank you for joining us. And I'd like to recognize Sister Fifi, who's watching us. Good morning to you, Coach Fifi. And um, one of the main things we wanted to communicate today is we're excited this week because this is the week that the Sankofa Mastermind Summit is happening this Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 o'clock Central time, something like that.
Yes.
And your host for that conference is none other than Wayne Moody, who is the creator of Sankofa Mastermind, which is no more than a group of like-minded individuals who are intentional about their life, who have made a decision to become constructive creators of life and step out of the imprisonment of being stuck, out of the imprisonment of living by default. And so Wayne created that community, which includes his clients that he coach and other coaches and just whoever resonate with us and are drawn to be a part of Sankofa Mastermind. And each year he has two summits, one in the spring, summer, and then one in the fall, winter. And this first summit for this year is coming up this Saturday. This Saturday, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it.
For a second, because my two brothers, Oliver and John, are going to be the feature, and the focus is going to be the becoming, and they're going to be sharing. You don't want to miss it, and please go register. You got to register. If you go to the page, you're going to see the link that you go to register, and we're expecting a full house. So there's a tendency at time for people to wait for the last minute, but I say that's not going to happen. You're going to be actually registering today, and you're going to be showing up on Saturday, and you will have an amazing transformation time of your life. And I can see it. I can see after this is finished, folks are going to be ignited to another level of awareness as far as they're becoming. So John Ebron and Oliver Blue are going to be the keynotes, and they're going to bring it. I mean, it's going to be like a double barrel shot, and it's gonna actually project you into eternity of greatness. So yeah, there's John and there is Oliver, and the topic is the becoming. And I created the Sankofa Mastermind when I first started this work, and we do have a summit middle of the year, and the next summit is actually going to be the Monday after Thanksgiving. That was declared the first time I had it. I declare, as long as I can be, I will definitely be doing a summit every Monday after Thanksgiving. So I'm anticipating the day when I will do my first in-person summit after Thanksgiving. So join us this Saturday, June 24th. And apologies there. Join us this Saturday, and we're going to have an amazing time.
Yes, and if you are listening live, I have posted the link to register for this summit. You must register. Now, Wayne has covered all the costs of the summit, but he does require registration, and there's a link to register. So if you are listening live, if the comment field has the link so you can register, and also in this post, in this Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, all the platforms that we're on, in this post, there is a link that you click on and then go and register. And again, he's covered all the costs, but you must register. So I'm excited. And I know that I know John Ebron, who is a um, John is a John Maxwell leadership coach and an outstanding mentor and teacher and speaker. And we're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to uh, partnering with him as we help all that are there to get reignited. We're at the halfway point of 2023. Some of us are still lagging in our goal achievement. Some of us are exceeding our goals. Some of us have quit on 2023. Some of us have allowed life to stare us down and say, no, you cannot have that. And we've kind of quit on our goals, on our aspirations. Well, we're here to encourage you that quitting is not an option in life. Life is going to continue to make the demands on us in terms of who we are becoming.
And I want to say here too that the work that you do and the folks that are part of your community, they are also a part of this. And the folks
absolutely
that unserved, they're a part of this because this is a working together of. Yes, it's hosted by the Sankofa Mastermind, but as far as those who you work with, you and Yolanda, those folks that John Ebron works with, they're also a part of this summit. And I look forward to the community coming together because this is what we do. We support, we add value to each other, and we rise. We rise. Like we say, when the tide rises, all boats rise. So
all boats rise.
Yes. Each other.
Yes. So I have sent out the call into my community and all the platforms, and they are all aware, and so have John. So looking forward to it again this Saturday, the Sankofa Mastermind Summit, where you'll have an opportunity to reignite yourself, to prepare yourself for the last half of this year, or to start something new, something fresh, whatever. Right. Just set your intention for the thing that you desire. Ask yourself the question, what is it right now in this present moment? We're not going to give any credence to the past. We're not going to have any anxiety about the future. But right now in my life, what is it that I would love? That's the place to start. It's always the place to start. We always want to start with the what, not the why.
As I started this year, I had acknowledged as I listened to the intuition before the year started, and I know that this year is the year of quantum leap and exponential growth. And what that means is going to be like suddenly. But in the moment, once we decide, that's like, I am a big sci-fi fan. I remember like Captain Kirk in the spaceship, and he's like warp speed, and that's it, warp speed and exponential growth. And it happens. There's a quantum experience that we can have. I mean, there is a process, for example, of say planting a grape and seeing the grape harvest, and we can get wine through the process of say planting grape, but we can also see water turn into wine like that. It's possible.
Yes.
So the full gamut, and as far as what is possible, it comes back to what am I thinking?
Yes.
But this is going to be an amazing, amazing time, very, very transformative, and it's going to be like catapult into greatness.
Yes, and we have people from coast to coast and Canada that's going to join us. So, hey.
Even from Bermuda and from Belize.
Yes, that's right, and Belize. So join us. Come on. And we're going to have a good time, and we're all going to grow together.
Yes.
So speaking of growing, and the theme of your summit is becoming.
Yes.
If you look at that word becoming, the prefix in that word is be.
Yep.
Which refers to presence, be present, or our beingness. Life is all about the expression of life, the being of life. Life knows what it is. It's endless. It's unlimited. It's it's about extension. It's about expansion. And so as we will be unpacking this becoming idea, it's really starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with the one source or the one seed from which all of us have what emerged.
Mm,
It's about being yourself. And to
mm.
be yourself, you first have to know yourself.
Oh, you gotta know. You
Yes,
gotta
you
know.
have to know. And then once we know the self that we are, which is the one self that we share. I was reading a Rupert Spira this morning, and he was talking about when you know yourself, he said you realize that you're never, ever alone.
Mm,
You're never alone because to see yourself just as a physical entity or body that gives you the sense of being alone when you are not with other physical bodies, right? They
mm,
give you the sense that, oh, I'm alone. But because we're not just bodies, we are aware of a body. We use a body as a tool. This is our license to be here in form.
mm,
You can't be here without a body. So it's not who we are, but it is like the car, or it's like your boat or your jet, or it's like anything that you possess. It's a tool that you use for the expression and experience of life, and that's what the body is. But when you realize that we are these eternal beings that originated out of the one being,
mm.
and that we are shared beings, that we are not divided at all, that we're not different at all, but we are one. Like Frankie Beverly said, we
Uh,
are one. Or like the master teacher said, that all things have been reconciled into the one thing. That is the be in becoming, being ourself, knowing ourself. And then the next step is then understanding how this self functions, how this self is a creative machine. Like
mm,
Wayne said, we are a creative machine. We have a marvelous mind that has the ability to create anything that it can think of. And that's the beauty, that's the adventure of life. And when we get to the place where we begin to live our life in the adventure of the unlimited nature that we are, then life becomes fun.
mm.
Life becomes meaningful. Life
Yes.
becomes purposeful.
Yes.
And so that's just kind of where we live. And I like this new address.
Mm. Yes.
So,
Oh my God.
Wayne, what is on your agenda for the next 6 months? What do you see the last part of 2023 looking like for you?
Well,
I know some of the plans you got, so I want you to share with the community.
one of the things that I'm aggressively seeing being just dissipating is the OPM. The OPM is the other people's money. Because 4 years ago when I invested and I went into a place where I had to take other people's money to create as far as getting certified and starting the business. But honestly, I'm seeing myself coming to the place where I'm going to be free of all that. And as far as my work that I'm doing, last year, a good friend of mine, Michael Bobbitt, said to me, he said, "Man, we got to look at you." He said, "Because there's only so many people you can coach one on one." He said, "We got to look at the workshops and the seminars and the conferences that you'll be doing." So honestly, I was speaking to one of my clients this past Friday, and he's like, "I have some mentors that we're going to be working with, and I would love for you to come and work with them." So anticipating being in North Carolina for that. And because I'm going to be in the neighborhood, I will make every effort to at least say see you for a day. But
We'll definitely connect.
I have a client in New York that's doing a workshop Labor Day weekend, of which I'm also a part of. There's a mentorship program in LA that takes young people to Louisiana in October for like 8 or 9 days. I'm there again. And I also have family in Florida that I usually see once a year. So that again is one of the intention being set to be in Florida. And I always enjoy going to Florida because when I'm in Florida, I get up in the mornings, as I usually do, no matter where I'm at, and I go see the sunrise, beautiful sunrise with the dolphins. I get a chance to work. Imagine being working from anywhere you want to work. And in the evening, sometime when I'm working in Florida, my cousin's husband would come home and said, "Hey, you wanna go up the river in the boat, or you want to go jet skiing this evening?" And talk about living my life and doing what I love. So there's so much thing that I can envision. And honestly, I have a practice which I learned when I started this whole practice of coaching and just living. In don't start my day until I finish my day.
Finish your
Don't
day.
start my month until I finish my month, and I don't start my week until I finish my week. I mean, I don't start my year. So 2023 is done. I'm thinking now, what is 2024 going to be seen? And not that I'm going to be living in the future, but I can imagine what is it going to be like? Where will I be? Where would I love to be? So yes, this year has been so amazing, and I'm anticipating it just coming to such a great crescendo. But all I've set the intention for before the year started, because
Right.
even before the year started, I saw what 2023 was going to be,
Right.
because I set the intention. And even as I look at the next 5 years, the next 10 years, because as I would say, reference to my personal dream, I coach individuals today, but the passion of my heart
Yes.
is coaching a nation and nations.
Yes. Absolutely. And it happens not because of luck or, fortune, as the world say. No. Real lasting change and real constructive things happen. Things get built. Lives get built. Community get built. Countries get built because of a vision, because of a
And what's
thought,
happening
because
for
of an
you?
idea.
What's happening for you? What's happening in the
So
next month?
so much, like you said, so much went into our uh, visioneering for 2023. Like you say, before we started it, it had already been completed on paper. And we're gonna come on here one of these coaching corner sessions, and we're gonna talk about that important part of becoming, which is the part of planning and
Blueprinting.
blueprinting and visioneering. We're gonna do that one of these things. Look, we're so excited. We have so much on the plate. I'm also a advanced spiritual teacher, and so I have this international conference course that's being launched in July that I'm a part of it with 6 other uh, teachers, spiritual teachers, that's going to be launched in July, and we're doing the final touches on that. I'm excited about that. Also, um, one of the biggest excitements that we have coming in the fall of this year is that we have partnered with one of the local HBCUs, one of the universities, historical Black universities. We have partnered with them, and Yolanda and I are going to be taking our vision and mindset coaching program into that university as a part of their freshman orientation program. So we're
Oh,
going
wow.
to be mentoring 17 and 18-year-olds, teaching them transformational principles and success principles to help
Woo.
them get the start that they need
Hey.
in their 4-year college career. So we're excited about that. That is coming up. And then we're also excited because we are going to be launching our newly created coaching program called The Real You
Mm.
that will be available in the second part of this year,
Wow.
where we have taken the best of our experience as well as taken the best of our learning and knowledge, and we have put that into a coaching program where you will be able to um, have the opportunity to sit with us in a 3 month mentoring program where we're going to give you our very best. So that's going to be launched also in the second part
Wow.
of 2023. And all of those are just things that pertain to our work. But we have some fun things
Mm.
in our second half of the year. We're looking forward to cruising in the second half of our year down into the Caribbeans, as well as there's several fun events that we've scheduled and planned to be with family and friends. And so, you know, it's gonna be that way because we created it.
Mm.
We created it, and your life is a accumulation of what you have created. And so, if you're discontent with your life, and I know how that feels, I've been there before. If you don't feel like you have what it takes to move to the next level, well, what is the next level? Well, it's whatever you create, because
Mm.
the next level could be even less experience of yourself. But we're here because we are here about promoting an expansive life, an unlimited life that you can not only create for yourself but create for others. Because
Mm.
the life that you create that is expansive, it only infects and expand the lives of those around you. So, what is it? Again, ask yourself this all important question: what is it that you would love? How would you like the second part of 2023 to be in your life? What would you like to experience? Well, it starts with a thought, it starts with an idea, it
Mm.
starts with those desires that are in your heart. So take those ideas, those dreams off the shelf, blow a little, uh, blow them off with your becoming self,
Mm.
and begin to dream, begin to blueprint, begin to write down your ideas, write down your dreams, write down what you would like, what you would love. And by doing that, like Wayne said earlier, you release a tremendous amount of energy, whereas the universe begin to work in your favor on your behalf. And so those are the types of principles and practices that you get when you work with Wayne or myself or any coach. You know, if you're here in life and you've never experienced having a personal coach, you need to consider that.
Mm.
I mean, we all have dental coach, medical coaches, we have if you own a home, you got landscape coaches, you got, pest control coaches. We hire people who know what we don't know in
Right.
every area of our life. But when it comes to our own personal development, when it comes with our own growth, we leave it up to experimenting with life. But
Mm.
just like you don't have issues or problems, in your dental, your medical, or other areas where you got people that are experts that are helping you in other areas, we want you to consider having that type of expertise, that type of mentoring in your personal life, in your personal life,
Mm.
because those that you admire, the people that you admire in public, the people you look at and say, oh, they're so great, they're so wonderful, they're so successful, we become fans of them, right?
Mm.
And they achieve the way they achieve because every one of them have personal coaches in their life. They have mentors.
Mm.
They have people that share with them the laws that govern life and how to create what they want and how to expand and then take what they have and influence it. They're getting coaches and mentoring. They're not as smart as you or me.
Hmm.
They have just discovered that, that is an important piece of life. That's an important part of success, is to have mentoring. If you look at Jesus's model, who was we would say he was the most influential person that ever lived, right? Because he's still influencing the world. Well, look at his model. He took 12 men and he mentored them. And then that 12 went out and mentored the multitude. That is a universal model for living your best life. So if you are still in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, even your 80s or 90s, and you have yet to experience having a personal coach in your life, that might be the missing ingredients. In fact, I know that is the missing ingredients. That might be the thing to your happiness and fulfillment. Because without it, your life has just been an experiment. I'm telling you, I know, because it was mentoring, it was coaching that I submitted myself to that helped me to discover who I was and to understand the laws that govern life and understand what life is all about. And so we encourage you to consider getting coaching in your own life, getting mentoring. It doesn't have to be from us. Just get it from wherever.
Right.
But why continue to flounder through life? Why continue to be discontent? Why continue to be frustrated? Why continue to have a mindset that is so subterranean to your reality, when there's this whole world that is calling you to a life of adventure, a life of pure discovery?
Yes.
So think about it. Give some thought to that. All right, Wayne. Well, we're almost at the top of the hour. This has been good.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm looking forward to what lies ahead as we continue to just be diligent and take one step at a time. So, but I want to say again, I appreciate you, bro.
Yep, absolutely. Same here, my friend. And again, get into that summit on Saturday. That's a good place to start. That is a great place to start for mentoring. And look in this post and you'll see the link to register for this Saturday's Sankofa Mastermind Summit. I'm going to be there. Wayne's going to be there. John Ibram going to be there. A lot of our friends going to be there. Clients going to be there. We want you there too.
Yes.
All right. All right, my friend. Have a great day. And
you too.
We'll see you next month in the Coach's Corner. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.